Right, let's now remind you of the other top story that we're following. KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Cabinet, led by Premier Thamsanqa Ntuli, is today visiting the family of South Africa's ambassador to France, Nathi Mthethwa, who died last week after falling from a hotel in Paris. He was 58 years old. Our reporter Simphiwe Makhanya, he is in Kwa-Mthethwa near Kwa-Mbonambi and joins us live. A very good afternoon to you, Simphiwe. A lot of back and forth and a lot of questions as we try and get a sense of when exactly the late Ambassador Mthethwa will be laid to rest. What is the latest coming out of the home?
Well, Mpo, as you come to us now, we have already seen quite a number of, leaders visiting the residence of the former ambassador to France, Nathi Mthethwa, here at Kwa-Mthethwa residence. A short while ago, we saw the arrival of the former president of COSATU, Mr. Dlamini, who was accompanied by the leadership of COSATU in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And of course, earlier on in the week, we have seen quite a number of dignitaries and political leaders, making their way here to offer their words of condolences to the Mthethwa family. But in terms of what we can expect today, of course, we're expecting that the delegation from the provincial cabinet, which will be led by Premier Thamsanqa Ntuli, to arrive here shortly, where they will then have an opportunity to interact with the family. And of course, thereafter, they will have an opportunity also to engage members of the media who continue to be stationed outside the residence of the former ambassador to France. There is Mr. Nathi Mthethwa. To answer your question, Paul, in terms of what can be expected, of course, with regards to the repatriation process, we do know that the delegation which comes from the Mthethwa family going to fetch the spirits of the late ambassador is expected to arrive in France on Thursday, and thereafter the body of the ambassador is expected to arrive here in South Africa on Friday. We did have an opportunity to speak to the family members of the Mthethwa family, who did confirm to us that according to their estimations, the funeral is indeed expected to take place this coming Sunday. But in terms of what's happening at the moment, we are expecting that delegation to arrive here shortly, and then we will proceed with the day-to-day operations which have been happening around this particular homestead of the former ambassador to France. That is Mr. Nathi Mthethwa.
With the many dignitaries and family, friends, colleagues who have been making their way to the Mthethwa home since learning of his passing, we know that former Minister Malusi Gigaba, who also happens to be close friends with the late ambassador, has cautioned against what he's referred to as the disinformation mill on the circumstances surrounding his death, saying for now, what should be agreed upon is what the family has said. Of course, that's an important point, isn't it, as we try and get a better understanding of why he may have passed away, why he may have jumped to the off that building, if that is the case.
Absolutely, Mpo. In fact, a lot of questions remain unanswered with regards to the circumstances surrounding his death. But of course, we do know that South African Police Service has sent a senior police officer, to be part of the team that is going to be investigating and working closely with the French authorities to try really and get to the, bottom of what really transpired and get some of these answers that, by the way, the family is also looking for. We did have an opportunity during the week earlier to engage them about this particular aspect, Mpo, and they did say to us that, of course, their focus now is laying the former ambassador to rest, but of course, what they do want at the end of the day is to get clarity in terms of what led to his death.
Well, let's leave it there for now. Of course, wrapping that conversation with our reporter Simphiwe, who's out in the Mthethwa family home, giving us a sense of what is happening on the ground.